welcome to fmtraining.tv. My name is Margaret. I'll be your broadcast engineer for today. I'm here with the wonderful Nick Hunter, one of our senior engineers. Many of you know Nick already, but if you happen to don't, Nick is an absolute fantastic FileMaker developer, really well known for his UI work in particular, but also, frankly, really well known for being able to take FileMaker and push FileMaker to its limits. All sorts of little magical tricks and ways you wouldn't think to use tools in FileMaker. That's what he's about and what he's been doing for us for quite a while. So speaking of which, I'll pull up the schedule if I can find the button for it. Here we go. So here's our training schedule. Wednesday, extreme web scraping performed on FileMaker server. So that's be today. Tomorrow will be calculation magic with Hansa. Friday will be an open FileMaker server Q&A. Monday will be the 13.3 update with Christian Schmitz. There's a lot in that update. So I think I made a link to the actual release notes. I suggest you go give a look at that. If you'd like to support the channel, we'd greatly appreciate it. We have our FM Training annual subscription bundles. These are legitimately really good if you're completely new to FileMaker, or if you're an intermediate person who works with FileMaker, or if you're really good at FileMaker but you have some gaps in knowledge. I always bring up server. I know many amazing FileMaker developers who don't really work with FM server. We have an entire course on that. So feel free to pick it up. Any bit helps keeps us doing this 5 days a week. So, with that being said, I think I'll turn it over to Nick. Nick, what are we doing today?
Hello, Marge. Hello, everybody. Thank you for the introduction. Thank you for joining today. I'm very happy. This is the last day of this web scrapping, so it's an easy day today. We're going to do some recap, and if you have questions about any topic or whatever you want to talk about, we can talk about this. I'm going to wrap up this web scrapping stuff. It's an interesting technique to do when you want to connect your database to a website, because most of the website, they don't have APIs and stuff like this. So it's sometimes it's very cool to learn and to master this, because it saves you time. It's not that difficult. It's not that complicated. Just you need to learn about this position and play with their position and play with all those calculation function that we have in FileMaker about selecting text and the middle, left, and the right. It's an interesting way to to pass data from a website without being very complicated and fast to do as well. Because I'm going to show you that it is possible to run things on server and let the server do his work, right? So yesterday, before we go further, yesterday we learned how to get a calc out of a record, right? The real record. So here I'm in this county here, right? So I'm in this county, right? Here is all the fields, names that I want to update. And here we have all the calc, following for that county, for that field. This is a calc, okay? So we learn about this. We learned that we can extract the calc outside of the managed database. And then to avoid extremely complicated case scenarios that can be or multiple ifs, are in your script, right? So you have an if, and then else if, right? And then another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. So it's a pain to build something like this, right? And very slow, because you have, when you have a case like this, right? And you go, so imagine here for each county, right? For each field, I need a set field, right? For each field, for each county, right? So it's kind of complicated, because if you have to do this, you need to, you know, all the set fields here. So for each county, right? For each county, so I have 4 counties. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And for each county, you have something like this. Okay, so, and actually I have much more fields. I have 29 fields. Here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I need almost to double this, right? So this is how your script will look like if you don't want to follow that technique, right? So you say if Brazoria, right? So if Brazoria, so you need to set field with the calc, right? So you understand why this is not at all something we want to do, okay? All of this has been resolved by using extracting the field, the calculation outside in a record in a field, and use it as we have a relationship here, right? This and this, then we get the calc, and that's it. So we don't need multiple set fields. Also, you need to use the set field by name. I know the set field by name. Who is using this, the set field by name here in the audience? So who is using this?
Lynn does. Ruben uses it sometimes. David is typing. So other people. David says not often. Foxy Jack says they don't.
Yeah, not yet. So, so the set field by name, I understand why, it's not something that you guys use often. It's because it's complicated to get the field name to work well. Okay, so in a script, you cannot say just to make sure that people understand. If I say set field, let's say, for example, this one, okay, this one. So if I say set field like this, if I say set field by name and I put the name like this, right? And I put in here, I put something like a test. If I execute that script, so if I execute this, I will get an error, It said field is missing. Why? Is because we don't provide in the scripts. You need to provide the current context. Okay, the script, it's outside, so the script doesn't know where you want to go. It's like, oh, give that to Nick Hunter. Yeah, but what's the direction? What is the address? Right? What's the address? Okay, so you want to set the field, but where's the address? So you can do something like this, you can do something like this. So you hard code the name. This now will work, definitely. Okay, so if I do it, boom, you put test here, right? It works because I gave the context, right? So in order to make sure that if you rename, so there's 2 things you can do here. Okay, my favorite way, when I want to set the field, I make sure that the name of the field here, for example, I put the name of the field, like this, hard coded, so I have the field name coming from a table, okay, from a field and a record, okay. But we can do a hybrid, right? So you said, okay, whatever gets the layouts table name, right? And you add the two columns like this, and you can hard code the name. So it can come from another field or whatever, but you can at least have the table name coming automatically. So you don't have to put the TO2 web scraping. You say, okay, so this will return this. Okay. If I go there, right? So this, it's a valid name. It's a valid name, right? So that will work. If I do, let's do this. If I do, boom, it works. You change that to test. Okay. There's another way you can do this. Okay. It's to make sure that you get the field name from a button, for example. So sometimes you have a button, right, and you have a script. So and you say, okay, I want to set the field by name, but the script parameter will get the field name. Okay, so you can put this in the script parameter, right? And then here get this. Okay, so that means now the field name on the set field by name is provided by this, is provided by the parameters. That means I can have multiple buttons, right? For example, if I want to change, if I want to change the tax year, for example, right? So I have a tax year and this. So that's the two fields I want to change. So here I'm changing, this one, and here I'm going to change the tax year. Okay. Tax year. Okay. I should have another. I should say something else than tax year because this is the name. So I'm changing the name in this. Okay. So now, if I perform that script, this is a field I change. And if I perform that script, this is the field I change. Oh, I changed tax year, not the name. Okay, hold on. Okay. So I have two buttons, right? Same scripts. I change, see? I change this. So you have two buttons, and I send the name of the field to the same script. Correct? So this is a good technique, but there's a better technique, there's a better way. Because in that scenario, you want to make sure that the button will always work. Okay? Because if you hard code this, or this, for example, let's use this one. If you hard code this one, and I go to the here and I change the field name, right? I rename the field. And now I try to perform this, right? It fails. It will say no. It will say the field is not there. Field is missing. Why? It's because I changed the name of the field, but my name, this was hard coded. So the best way to do is to do this, to get the field name of this. Right? So you use get field name on this. So the get field name has been invented for that purpose. Both set field by name and get field name has been introduced in FileMaker Pro 6 and at the same time because they go together. Okay. Demonstration. This here, if I click here, it works. Right? Now, I change the name of the field, right? But I don't do anything in that. I go there, I change the name again, right? Change the name of the field. Okay. So now, if I click again, it works. And I didn't change anything on the button. Why? It's because the get field name return this, whatever is the name of the field, right? So that's why when you use set field by name throughout a script parameters, use get field name always. Don't type the name manually, okay? When you use a name like I did here, right? Unfortunately, there's no way you can change that. There's no way you can avoid, there's no way to make that if you change the name of the field in managed database, that won't change this. It won't. Okay. So that's why, there's multiple techniques, but sometimes, you need to be careful. But in the case scenario where you want to perform a script with a set field by name via a script parameter, use the get field name instead. Okay. Now, I know many people get confused about this. There's two things. Okay. Two things. There's the get field name and that's a get field. Right? There's two things. Get field name and get fields like this. Right? Why this doesn't work? Oh yeah, I know. Okay. So now you see the get field doesn't work. Right? The get field name, yes. Right? But the get field like this, don't. Correct? Because it doesn't understand that as a field name. You need to do either this, right? So that's give you, okay, the get field and the field name is a piece of text. Okay? Correct? If you do this, it won't understand. Right? So instead, you do this. Get field and you get the field name this. And then you get the content of the field. Right? So those get field name, sometimes they are extremely convenient, right? The get field name, you get the name of the field. The get field, if you don't have, right? If you don't use the right way to use this, it will return anything. You cannot say the get field name, you cannot say this is won't work, He said field missing. Why? Because this return test, right? You understand? This return test, the content of this is this. So get field like this will say, oh, get a field of test, and test doesn't exist. You understand? Okay. So that's why you need to say, either you say, oh yeah, this is a field name, or you use the get field name inside the get field. That works. Okay. Get field is cool. Get field would be the same, because people say, oh yeah, get field. Why you need get fields, right? And you just, get field is for this. It's the same as this stuff here. Get field content, right? It's the same as this, right? It's the same as get active field content. But the advantage is that you don't need to have the active field. I could say, we don't need to have the field active. The get active field content give you the field, the content of the field that where you're in. But I can say get field, I can say I want this, right? And I want this, another one like this, right? So you can combine and say, okay, you want to get the fields, right? Right. So this is how you do, correct? So so the get field, it can be used on many things. So if you want, one day I can do a better demo than for this, coming with example that
I
works
think people
well
would
for
like
this.
that. Someone suggested you do a Nick scriptology series.
Yeah, I can. I was thinking doing something like this. I have many things that okay, I'm using many advanced tricks in FileMaker. I mean, the tricks, but the advanced technique to get things done. Okay. And most of the time, people are using heavy scripts. So maybe the topic of those webinars could be how to avoid scripts. Script is slow. Scripts shouldn't be used for something else than just moving things, a thing that has to movements. Okay. The movements, it's like moving a house, but otherwise, that moving things, you don't need scripts. Okay. There's many things that can be done on the managed database layout, here, there's many things you can do here, right? So I can come with many examples where I'm using the field calculation and the relationship instead of using especially for filtering and stuff. We have a filter, right? We have a filter. Do we have this? What the next topic?
The next topic is the filtering. So 2 weeks of
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So I'm going to use that those webinars to explain that script needs to be used in very small way. because they're very slow and they're not meant for this. Okay, so let's go back to my demonstration that I want to do here. So we learned that we can perform and evaluate a calculation outside, in a field like this, right? Okay, so we learned that, but also let's destroy this. What we can do is performing a script that is on the record. For example, here in Brazoria, I have the test script 1, okay? And in Montgomery or Galveston, I have test script 2. So I'm in Brazoria, all those records here, when I'm in Brazoria, automatically, I'm going to perform a script, right? Without deciding anything, without a if and else if, and without all this, I say, okay, boom, perform test script 1. And like by magic, if I go to Galveston, I didn't do any else if. If I click, it's test scripts 2, and he said hello in French, right? I didn't do anything, right? I didn't decide anything. For example, I want to decide, I have another script, right? This is free and Spanish, okay? And I say, okay, this is for Montgomery. For Montgomery, I say, okay, I want the script free. So I didn't do anything. I didn't open script workspace. I go there. I go Montgomery, script free. Hola. That's it, right? So how we do this, how we decide scripts outside, So I have a script here, perform script by name, perform script by name. So you have two ways to perform script. We can say by name or from a list. The list is that. That means it's hard-coded. Do this. Or by name, and in that case, the name is coming from my script parameter. I have a button here, right? And I'm executing that script. And inside that script, I have a perform script by name, and the name is whatever is inside this field, right? So here, I perform, and by name, it's the script test free. If I change and I go here, if I execute this, the same script, okay? Now, this script, the script I'm going to do is the test script 1, hello, right? So, because the name, I provide the name by the parameter. Now, you say, okay, but what if I have parameters? Okay, that's okay, right? We can send parameters all away. So let's do this. Let's create a new field. I have my parameters here. Okay. The parameters. And here I can say, okay, the script parameters can be whatever I want. Get current dates, right? or I can say, I want the month name, okay, of get current date, right? For example, on the test free, here, I can say, I want the get account name, okay? And I can do this. So when you want, for example, you want to help yourself because here it's a piece of text. I don't have the type over, I don't have the function. Okay. I go there and I say, okay, whatever I want this. I want the list. So now I have the type over of the get account name, right? And the get privilege, this, the account privilege set name. Okay. So I want this. That's what I want. Okay. So I copy my calc and I paste here. Okay. You understand? So now, for this one, I want to do something different. Okay. I want, I don't know, to get a list of fields, for example. And the list of fields, they are in that table. So I'm going here, right? And I say, okay, I want the list of name or agent name, name, market value, and legal description. Okay? So I'm copying this. I made that inside. I put myself in the context. And now I'm putting this here. Right? So now I have the script name and parameters completely different depending on where am I. Here, the parameters are the parameters depending on the context where I'm going to run that script. I'm going to run that script here. So my context is here, okay? So now how can I send all of this in my button here? So I'm performing the script by name, yes. Here, right, I have a list of the script name first and the script parameters. So now I have two things, okay? I have two things. So if I take this two, I copy this, and I'm putting myself here and say, okay, what this calc returns, this script one and the script parameters. That is for Brazoria. If I go to Montgomery, this is different. It's test free, it's month name of get current date. And if I go to Galveston, I think, it's test two, it's a list of the account name and the account privilege set name. Okay? So now I need to modify my script here because now I have the script name and the parameter, but now I say, okay, what here, this, I have two values. Two values. Okay? And I want to get the value of this. I want the value 1 for the script name and the value 2 for the parameters. right? Because I have two values. I want that for the name, that for the parameter. So it is no longer get script name like this, the get script parameters. Okay, my favorite way is this: set variable current script name, and I get this. However, you can do this if you want, get value, get script parameters 1. You can do this, or you can use my custom function that you might have, get parameter value 1, and the script get value 2, right? And now I can say I want the current name, and here on parameter I want the current script parameters. Current script name, okay? Why I'm doing this? You know that, because when I'm here, I can check what happened. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. I can see, I see what happened. I can debug, right? So now, if I perform this, hold on. On my script here, so this I'm performing the script name and the parameter. So here, I need to set, okay, I want to receive the parameters here. On this one, on this one, on this one. Okay. Okay. So now I performed this, and it said, oh, yeah, I need to execute this. I need to evaluate this, evaluate. Sorry for that. It's my bad. Here, I need to evaluate this. Okay. I need to evaluate that. Otherwise, you won't understand. For him, it's a piece of text. Okay. So let me explain again. Here, this, it's a piece of text. It's text, right? It's text. It's like, hello, how are you? It's the same. Okay. So when you send the parameter to the script, you need to say, okay, yeah, evaluate this. Evaluate whatever the text says. Okay. So now, when I'm here in Galveston, this script here is a test 2. I am in test 2, and I have this. If I go to Montgomery, perform, it's August. And if I go to Brazoria, perform, I'll get this. So now you understand the power of this, because otherwise you can have a very complex case and LCF and whatever, right? You remove the burden of this by using that technique of, so, and now you understand where the beauty is, because I could do this. I could do something like this. Look this, right? Okay. I can build something like this. I want the script name. I want the script parameters. And also, I'm going to send that I want the legal description, okay, as a third, right? Now, I'm going to the script one. I don't show this, you know. I mean, yeah, I will, but I want to do this. Set fields. So remember, I'm sending parameters over there, okay? So I want, okay, I'm going to receive here by this script 2 parameters. That means, look, I hope I'm going to express myself well, but you know, bear with me, please. Here now, I'm sending 3 parameters. 3. Okay. So if I'm sending 3 stuff over there. The first is the script name. The second is the script parameter. And the third, right, it's something I want to set a field with. Okay? Out of those 3 stuff, 1 will be used as a script name, and those 2 used as parameters. The 2 are parameters. So how we do this? Well, the script 1 will receive, here I'm receiving 2 things. Here I'm receiving the free values. The first will be used, right? The first will be used for the script name, but here I need the parameter number 2 and the parameter number 3. And 1 needs to be evaluated. Okay? Very easy. So I'm doing this. List. Yeah, I know. I'm a very friend of list is a good friend of mine. I want to evaluate the parameter number 2, and I need the parameter number 3. So now you know, now you know why I'm doing this. Okay, so why am I doing the variable? Because if I perform this, I get the name and the parameter, and now I can check whatever happened here. I have the name and the parameter is this and this. Correct? That's my parameters that I want to send over there. So with those parameters here, with this parameter, what do I want to do here, right? What do I want to do? Well, I want to set the field, this one, with the content of the last value of my parameter. Why? Because this here, right? Here, it will be always the last. It will be the last value. I'm evaluating this, and then at the end, I'm adding this. So I want the last. Okay. So set variable with the current, field name. And this will come the last row, the last value of my parameter. Write values of my get script parameters, and I want the last one. The last value, that will be this. Right? Correct? Now, I want to, you know, to set that field, correct? Set that field. Set this field with the content of this field, of this value, of this variable, right? And now I can duplicate this, right? I want the content, I want the result of a calculation that is coming from a field, a related field, right? Based on whatever I put here. So this field will change the relationship. Give me this, and I want to evaluate whatever this calculation will be. So now I want to show you how huge that can be. I can, I have no way to do something like this without having a super complicated case and if and stuff like this when I don't. So let's see how it works. I click here, that the legal description. It is this. This is this. Correct? So I can have multiple buttons like this. I can have, let's put this here. So this one is legal description, right? This one is the agent name, for example. And this one is the mailing address. Okay. So let's say I want 3 buttons like that, or 4 buttons. Okay. That with the market value. Okay. So knowing that the calc to get that is different for each county, right? And I want a button for each of them. So normally you need a button with a script for each county, for each field, with each calculation, right? But here, no. I build my scripts, my 3-row scripts, 3-row scripts, okay? Not more, right? And I do this. Here I want the agent name. Here I want the mailing address. And here I want the market value. That's all what I need to change. I don't even go legal description, agent name, mailing address, which I don't have in this. Oh, why? Maybe because I have a hold on. Did I do a mailing address? Yeah. Do I have a, no? Oh, I have a misspelling in the, okay, so I'm going to fix this. See? Okay. My field name is Aber is missing a L in my field name. It's okay. Mailing address and market value. But if I go, so here, I'm using the script 1 because I'm in Brazoria. Okay. So now I can change the, if I go in Galveston, I have a script 2, right? So I could easily send the parameter, but it's too late for that. I don't want to stamp this. I will come back with an, but I wanted to show you the power of, of this. I have no overcomplicated things here, right? I have no, case. I have no crazy scripts, right? And this is fast because it's 3 row. If you have a 60 or 70 row, if, else if, else if, else if, else if, set like this, right? It's a nightmare, right? So we have any questions? I'm going to come back with this.
No questions, just people saying this is interesting. So
It's start small, when you want to do this, build a small database with and then you can train yourself. Of course, if you rename the scripts, you're screwed, right? The script by name, if you rename the scripts, there's no way you can prevent that. So I'm doing this. I have I'm putting the script I don't want to rename inside a do not rename folder, right? Those scripts, I don't want to rename them because if I rename them, I break. So I put them inside a do not rename folder, right? To make sure that, I'm not breaking it. This is a discipline you need to have, All those scripts here in those 2, I cannot rename them because I'm using this in that. So instead of, because depending where I am, I'm using the script name and the parameters, So I have the refresh table script. Before was refresh table. Do I have the old one? Yeah. Okay. What a nice, super, very beautiful script. Wow. This is a fantastic script. 133 rows. Right? That's cool. Right? And each of them were running crazy things. Right? Okay. This is how it looks now. Okay. And this is how it looks now. So because this is running on server. So when I perform that refresh stuff, that was 100 rows before, right? I say, okay, yes, but the script name is the button that give me the parameters. And then I'm taking the path I want to export, and I'm sending that to the server, so that is on the server, so, and then for each one, depending on which script this, but I don't need the if it was a nightmare before. Where it is, refresh, batch, wait, this one is a one, this one, it was a nightmare, it was very complicated, right? Because you have if, right? So I don't need if. The button give me the name of the script I need to send. So that's a demonstration about how this technique of extracting the name of the scripts outside can help you. So if you don't have any question, I understand it's a very unusual technique, but it's not something that we need to dismiss, right? So I try to make the demonstration to show you that it saves you when you get the concept, which is it's not that complicated, because the only complication you have here, and that's why I stopped the demonstration, because I need to come with a good explanation, is how to send parameters, how to collect parameters and how to send parameters over there, right? Sometime I'm using the JSON. I'm building JSON like this, set elements. So we need to have a course on, but most of the time I can avoid this. I have another technique without this complication, because this is adding complication, in my opinion, unnecessary. So I'm going to show you both, play with parameters with using JSON and not using JSON. It's
No, people say this is a great series. Thank you. So
yeah, I'm going to extract the file.
Yes.
It would take me a couple of days to do that. Okay, so sorry
That's
for this.
fine. So we'll probably see it sometime next week.
Yeah,
So.
or Friday night or something like this. A Friday night gift, something like this.
Something for people to work on over the weekend.
Yeah, Friday night surprise. Yeah.
Yep. No, people saying this is really good stuff. Thank you, Nick. All that good jazz. So.
Thank you.
Thank you. We will see you. I'll see you Wednesday next week. So.
Yeah, Wednesday. Yeah. Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Have a good one. See you tomorrow.
Got a report of an individual up here who may be a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir.